All right, hello everyone. Today we are here in we're here in London. At a track called UK London. I may be wondering that's kind of a strange name for a track. Um, yeah, when the people we put in charge of this project here in London, which by the way, maybe 6:30 here, it's 11:30 over here. It's why it's night out here, but yeah, maybe 6:30 on the eastern coast, but it is not 6:30 in London. But anyway, um, yeah, we I don't practice all that much. I did a bunch of testing here. Yeah, hopefully the draft is working. By the way, that's the only thing I wasn't able to test. But anyway, um, it's actually supposed to be called Arcadia Speedway, and the problem is, when the people we put in charge when they were filling out the form for the track, you're supposed to put the location, like United States, Michigan, and then your city and so on. Uh, they put the location in the name of the track, and then the name of the track is now the location. So, yeah, they kind of messed that up. So now we're here in London with a goofy track name, and yeah, that's the story there. 1 kilometer because Europe. So this starts an international swing here for Otter, as we're gonna have a race in Palau. We're gonna have a race in Ireland and a race in the Netherlands, if I remember correctly. That is the order that goes in, and yeah, we're looking forward to it here. But 1 kilometer, zero degrees of banking in both corners. I really like this track. I like how these cars are driving, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I was able to get the anti-wall ride working, so that's good. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just gonna pull to the side here, make sure everything's good. Working. So we still have a good amount of time practice. So qualifying is gonna start 6:45 Eastern time, 11:45 Europe time. We probably should have timed this for Europe, but that's fine. Actually, I don't think that's gonna work because even though I'm on break, I don't think many school districts have a break at this point in February. So, or if they want to give me extra practice, I'll take it. I'm not gonna complain. I do really like this track. You get right up to your top speed. You got to get in the braking point right away. About halfway down the straightaway, you got to make sure you can get your tires in the grass, get it to rotate. I really like how the flow of the track is, especially since it kind of drives like a road course a little bit. You're unfamiliar. A lot of these drivers are just. I mean, to be fair, I'm unfamiliar with the right-hand turning oval too, but it's just road courses. That's usually where me and Angelo excel. I would imagine just with the familiar more. Not to say we're better at turning right, but we're better at turning right when we do have to turn right. So it's could be advantage to me or Angelo if he is to show up. So it just fits kind of that flow. So hopefully we get a good result here. It's been a disappointing weekend for the 24 team throughout Argyle. Obviously, we got absolutely obliterated at UPR, and then had a disappointing ending of the Daytona 500 to say the least. So hopefully we can at least walk away from the weekend. We're ignoring the fact this is a Monday with at least one trophy to present. But I mean, if the pattern of Bloxy Motorsports and RGA is to continue, it is going to be going to a Bloxy Motorsport driver. So maybe the pattern is broken today, and we're able to walk away with the trophy. Otherwise, it's just kind of a disappointing weekend in terms of performance. And I'm not driving the next weekend's races either, so that's just kind of a bad note to end off on. So kind of wash up to the center there. We're going to try to really get the thing to rotate, get the power down, to get the momentum on exit. Yeah, it's just practice right now, so, not too concerned about everything yet, but, just trying to figure out some more information where I can. Where can I improve? What can I do differently? Where do I need to brake? All that stuff. How late can I brake? Just a bunch of little information to know. I'm going to be curious to see how this race plays out. Obviously, part of it depends on how many people we get, but I had a prediction that this race is either going to be a banger race or it's going to be It's going to be a barn burner, or it is going to be the worst race of the season so far. And it's going to be a disaster. I don't know which one it's going to be, though. I feel like it's going to be one or the other. Just because, you know, it really allows a high lap differential with, you know, the top speed, not being able to get the top speed. Sometimes down the straightaways if you get a poor exit. Or how long can you hold that top speed, like 185 right there, without, you know, overcommitting to the next corner. All that stuff. In terms of track limits, you can have 2 tires in the grass. You just can't put them. I guess technically you could have 3. I don't really know how that would work without basically spinning out anyway. But you can have 3 tires in the grass. You just can't be completely in the grass. I guess normally at most that'd be 2. But, you know, just allowing the, you know, high differential in lap time, I think that's going to be a big thing with this. To be fair, I haven't tested the draft, so I don't know. Maybe I should have lowered it to the speed, but to a different speed. But I mean, if we're barely getting up to max speed as a leader, I doubt the draft will matter too much. It's gonna be pretty much the same breaking point anyway, I would imagine. I don't know. Anyway, we're nearing halfway through practice here, so we just walk some laps and, you know, get some track time on these guys, which, I mean, track time is big, but it's not everything. You know, some tracks, it just clicks for them immediately, so, you know, it does help to have track time, but, I mean, it just, you know, it could be anything. Obviously, you want to try to keep as much speed through the corner as you can, but you also want to make sure you get the power down, get a good run on exit down these long straightaways. We are going to be able to improve our time a little bit. I think the fastest I ran in testing was a 24.1. So we'll see if we can get up to that. Yeah, just trying to get as much speed as you can around the exits there. Make sure you do have speed. Obviously, you want to try to keep as much momentum as you can. You got to try to turn the car, get it pointed for the straightaway to allow for the big runs to happen. So, using the grass to help you too. You know, just putting the right side tires down in the grass, help the thing rotate. Grass obviously not as much grip. It's gonna, you know, make you slide around a little bit. So that, you know, just being able to put the tires down in the grass, trying to get that to help you. You know, just doing anything you can. You know, trying to figure out, you know, when your braking points are, what that's doing for you. When you're letting off the brakes, maybe getting back on the brakes, help the thing rotate, because, you know, it is very easy to lock up the brakes in these cars. So, you know, just everything, every little detail that you notice, you want to try to take note of that. Obviously, it's 32 minutes race, because obviously we have the timed races here, plus the lap. But, you know, obviously you can see we've ran, what, 8 minutes and we're 15 laps down. So it's, you know, we're going to get a good amount of laps in. It's just a matter of, you know, what the, I forgot my point, but the point, oh, I remember it. You aren't going to be perfect for all 60 laps, but, you know, just when it comes down to it, you know, just the things you want to remember, and, you know, hopefully you can apply throughout the race, just get a little better at those things. We're going to tap the wall a little bit. We might get some damage from that, but nope, we're still at our top. So, we might get a little bit. If we did, it was ever so slightly. So damage is going to be similar to like it is at the Acre 500 from last season. If you remember that race, you know, we had cars getting in the wall. They would lose speed. We had drivers down to like I think Angelo was down to like 200 from 230 because he was in the wall so much. So, you know, you got to be careful with that. But, oh no, I completely locked it up. Yep, there we go. Braked way too late right there. But, anyway, point is, you got to be careful with the damage. It's only in the corners. If you know, brush the wall in the straightaways, that's not going to slow you down or anything. It's just for the corners. We have the anti-wall ride. But yeah, we'll see what happens. These turns do the turn itself doesn't, but the turn radius of the wall tightens up on exit. So that might be some damage right there. But so that, makes things a little more difficult too, just with the wall slowly moving towards the racetrack. It's barely noticeable, but it is there, so it's also something to take note of. It's got about 5 minutes left in practice. Guess we'll practice getting to pit road here. Should probably do that. Nice thing too is I don't know if I want to tell the drivers this or if I just want to have them figure it out. But because of the pit speed thing, I want to set the cars back, obviously, to going the speed that they should be going, which is 185. So even if you do get a bunch of damage, you can go down pit road. Automatically, you get your gas and tires, and now it automatically repairs your car, too. So that is an advantage for, some drivers. If they get in the wall a bunch, you just automatically get some damage repair. I guess I need to practice pit exit because I clipped the wall right there. Yeah, pit road in the garage area. I mean, if I need to expand the garage area, I can a little bit, but pit road barely fits on the straightaway there. I was making sure that it did fit on the straightaway. Yeah, we're gonna go down pit road one more time just to practice the pit exit. Make sure I got that down. So we get ready to go as we prepare for the race of our first short track here in Otter. Actually, our first non-super speedway oval, actually, in Otter. We ran Detroit twice, we ran Hollywood twice, and Mauna Loa was race 5. So this is only the 4th track we've ran at Otter across our 6 races so far. Obviously, we only had the 3 last season before we decided to just cut the schedule short, focus on the other parts of the league, and yeah, it's we're planning to get the full schedule in here, so hopefully that does end up happening. It's gonna be a little close on if we get it all in for just across the spring here, but I think if we can get it to about June, really May. If we can get it to May, I think we're gonna be, and we don't miss any races, I think we're gonna be good. I think at that point we'll be in the clear and we'll have enough. Yeah, we'll have enough time through the summer to get the rest of the tracks made for this division especially, so, yeah. Honestly, the big concern on if we're going to get all the races in is probably Acre, but even that I've scheduled out pretty good, I think, so not too concerned about it. So into the final 3 minutes here in practice here in London. It is nighttime, as you can see. We don't have any actual lights because, lag, but, overall, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting race here. Like I said, I think it's either going to be one of the best races of the season or it's going to be one of the worst races of the season. I don't really think there's going to be any in between. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, if you're subscribed to this channel, then you probably know about the other channels you can watch on at this point, so, yeah, let's go around the corner here. I'm kind of running out of things to commentate. I really like these IROC cars. They turned out great. It took me a while to get them working, but once I did, and now, especially with the setup here, especially with this track, and I'm stumbling over my words. Let me stop and think for a second. Now I'm really stumbling over. Okay. I really like how these cars handle, especially at this track. The cars are tight. You do have to fight it, but it is loose enough to where you can get it to rotate like that right there. You can see the back end of the car stepping out just enough for the whole car when the front catches. Can get the car to rotate through the center. However, you do still have to fight it. The braking point is difficult. I really like this car track combination so far. This is the only race in Argyle, on the Argyle schedule for this track. So, this is the only time we're going to be racing here this season. And I think it's going to be, hopefully it's a good race. And, it gives me a reason to bring it back. If not, there are some setup changes I could probably make the drivers like it better. But But I think this is going to be good. There were a few things I was thinking about, but I decided against it. I just kind of figured, and we'll see what happens this time. Yeah, I mean, we've made a few pit stops in these 15 minutes. We've gotten 30 laps in, so we're definitely going to get a good amount of laps in. I think we're going to have we're going to have one more lap here before qualifying takes over. We're going to be able to get it back around to the line here. For our final lap in practice, where we were the only driver to put down a lap time, meaning by default, we are the fastest in practice, which by default is honestly one of my favorite ways to win, because that means you get rewarded for minimal effort, because you don't have to do anything if you're going to win by default. So it is a great sight to win to be fastest in practice by default, and yeah, or I guess I should say you can be rewarded for minimal effort. I mean, obviously if they leave like mid race, then you still have to put in effort. But if you do, all right. Anyway, I'm gonna be quiet. Qualifying time. Angelo is here. Let's make sure everybody knows. We're just gonna hop right into it here. Oh wait, nope, that's not what I need. Camera mode. Yeah, so I'd love to change it. It's his qualifying time here. There's Angelo. Both of us are going to be looking for our second win of the auto season here. I'm going to get some fuel and tires and stuff because we need it. Qualifying already underway here. I'm going to let him go just because I want to see if the draft is working like it should be. Because I thought I had it working at UPR, and that ended up not working at all. So I changed one thing, and I want to see if it's working. Go. We aren't waiting. I was waiting for him because I want to see if the draft was working. I don't think we could have started. Try to get some experience in traffic here. We only got a mile an hour out of it, and both of us are gonna go into the wall here. We followed him immediately. So immediately we're going to have some speed disadvantage. Yeah, looks like it's working pretty good. Angelo again in the wall. It takes a minute to get your braking point good, but once you got it, you just kind of know where to brake. I mean, mainly for me, what I do when I'm trying to figure out when to brake is I just keep an eye on my speed. Once I get to a certain speed, I know I got to hit the brake at that point. I don't really use. I mean, depending on the track, I'll use like a marker or something like that on the racetrack, but I don't really have that here. And I guess I need to work on the anti-wall ride because he was able to bounce off the wall there and keep it going. I feel like this track is like a mix of like New Hampshire and Bowman Gray. Kind of cool. He's ran I mean, to be fair, I did run a 24-1 at one point in testing, but still, he's able to get a pretty good lap in right there. He's bouncing off the wall. Might go through and make that a little bit stronger. It looks like he's going to stop doing that here. Now he's pretty much got pole secured by 3/10. Let's try to chase him down. He's a 24-3. That's a pretty good lap. We're gaining on him. This isn't the race, but we're gaining on him. I'm trying to make a pass on him. Feel like that was a pretty good lap. And it was a pretty good lap. We are now fastest by 200ths. We're going to park it right in front of him. He's going to try to get a crossover on the bottom. We are racing and qualifying. I'm going to get out of his way. Get a little contact made while we do it. I'm going to give him some space here. So if you really nail your line, you know what you're doing. You can beat the wall. Even if the anti-wall ride isn't fully doing its job. We'll see if Angelo can get some consistent laps down. Maybe even get a pop-off lap, get a little bit quicker there. But obviously, every time he's hitting the wall, he's going to lose some top-end speed. So that does play into our advantage. And again, like I said, when you pit, the way the pit speed thing works, you get your damage repaired automatically. So it's a big help to Angelo in this case. Let's make sure to tell him go down pit road before we start here. Make sure he gets a fair, respawn and all of that. Oh, he's on the wall up there. Oh, he really got the wall. I'm just chasing him down. We're doing basically a practice race at this point. This isn't even qualifying. This is just what's gonna happen in the race. This is a preview at this point. This is difficult, dropping 130 miles an hour. Use up the brakes like you're at Gateway or something. Just constantly slamming the brakes, getting back in the gas, slamming the brakes, and brakes get, with the long straightaways, brakes are going to be heating up, cooling down, heating up, cooling down. That's how you blow the brakes out and they, explode and stuff. But it doesn't really matter here because we kind of don't have part failures in the sense real cars do, but here in Argyle. But it is something to keep in mind in case we ever get a realistic version of this track, I suppose. Which may or may not be a part of the Argyle master plan, but, it is what it is. Side by side to the line, I don't know who would have won that race. Probably the 19. And he's going to outbrake himself into the wall. We're barely going to keep it out of the fence. Look at all the time we can gain on entry. If we get the thing rotated, yeah, if he keeps out of the wall, we're gonna be in a good spot. Based on what I'm seeing right now. Peek outside, let him slide, get back to the bottom, contact made. We weren't quite able to pull off the over, I can't speak, the big crossover there, but yeah, it is, he's gonna get away with that one. Right now, with the tire wear, at some point you gotta imagine lap times aren't gonna get any better. Obviously, we're nearing halfway through qualifying here, and yeah, I think I don't know if we're quite at that point. Obviously, the 19 could still pull something out of his sleeve. I don't know how much the wall would or will not help him. Potentially get a quick lap, and now we're gonna be boxed in on the outside. Yep. Outbraked ourselves. Now we're going to lose some speed, and he's cutting down in front of us. I'm going to make a pit stop here. Get one more pit road practice. Just make sure my car is fully up to speed as I really outbrake myself there. Oh, no, I tagged the pit wall. Yeah, that's fine. See how much time roughly we lose to. Oh, I just gave him an idea, didn't I? That might not be good. That might be a faster lap. Kind of overshot the pit box, but that's fine. So on a pit stop, you lose a fair amount of time. And you lose about 70% of the lap. So, and I did kind of mess up. That wasn't the cleanest pit stop ever. So probably 65 to 70% of a lap is what you're going to lose during a pit cycle. So that's good to note. He did not get a better lap time. I thought he might have gotten it that time. Oh, he tied it. Well, ties go to who set the lap time first, right? I think that's how that works. I don't even know. We don't really have a rule for a tie here in Argyle. I guess I'll have to look up what the rules across motorsports. Or actually, I'll do the better thing. Hope somebody resolves this tie. Ideally me, but if Angelo is willing to break the tie, that's fine too. do need these tires to kind of wear in a little bit before I can get the corners I want to get. Here's my question: do I like kind of wait for him, maybe to get the draft down these long straightaways? Is that maybe an advantage? Maybe I am running a good enough lap time, but I just don't have the draft like I did the first time. So, it's just kind of a question of that too. Do I want to pull around the backstretch, wait for him? I feel like overall my car is good enough to where I can just try to beat that lap in general, but we'll see. These tires are wearing a little bit more. I need a little bit more rotation into the corner. Gotta try to hit that apex, get the right sides in the grass. This 1 and 2 is kind of a blind corner. You just kind of gotta aim for that pit wall, and hope you don't hit it, obviously, because that's where you want your right side tires. You want it right by that red wall there, pit entry. Obviously, you gotta try to get slow it down enough too. I'll have to look at what NASCAR's rules are for a tie in qualifying. This could be a decent lap. I don't know if it's a pole sitting lap, but it's a good lap. Yeah, I kind of messed up the exit there. Maybe not. Oh, and a bobble. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was a good slide there. Probably could have... yeah. Should have been a little bit better of a corner there with that slide. Oh, there we go. Oh, it kind of didn't. Yeah, it didn't follow through. We got the slide initially, didn't follow through. That's definitely going to cost us some time, but these tires are weared in enough to where I can kind of get the corners I like to get, which is good to see. Is that the 19? Yeah, we're catching up to the 19 too. While we're doing all this, we're going to get the wall pretty significantly there. He's just running out of speed on the straightaways to get a lap, to get a better lap at this point too. That was a really good 3 and 4. Could have been a little bit better on exit. Yeah, it's still not better. Oh, now we're gonna overshoot 1. Yeah, got him back a little bit though. Through 2 there. Oh, and then we absolutely get a terrible 3 and 4. I'm gonna try to just fully commit to the exit and hope. I don't think that's gonna be a pole winning strategy, and it is not. Get the right front in the grass there. Really get the thing to rotate. Can we get a good 3 and 4? If we do, this could be the pole winning lap, and I mean, it could have been worse. I suppose we recovered that better than I thought we would. We're going to get a really good average corner speed. Power down on the exit. Is it enough? Yes, it is. By a 10th over Angelo. We're only about 700ths off of my fastest time I ever lapped around here during testing, so that is that's a good clutch lap right there to potentially lock up pole Angelo in the wall. Air going off in the background. You might be able to hear that. We're going to get another really, really good 3 and 4 right there. Kind of took it a little bit easier on exit than I probably should have. And yeah, I don't know if that was going to be better or not. I kind of forgot how turn 1 went that lap, but that was a really, really good 3 and 4. Just caught the right front in the grass and used that to get the thing to rotate. That was a really good corner. Angelo, all you gotta do is pit and you're right back to an equal car to me. I say that like you can hear me, but it is what it is. Oh, he's pulling over. He wants to see what I'm doing. Car's stuck at one. Oh, let me explain it to him. I'll just tell him you get the automatic repairs when you go on pit road. You just have to make sure you cross the exit. Actually, you don't even have to go down pit road. You just have to cross that line there for exit, and you're good. You get a pretty good turn 1. Turn 1 and 2. And not the best. Well, actually, it'd be a pretty good solid 3 and 4. Not the best exit, though. Angel messing up. Yeah, no, that's definitely not pole winning lap time. We got about a minute left. Technically, we're supposed to be green right now, but we're going to ignore that. We're going to get a good corner. 1 and 2 there. Oh, wow. That's new. That hasn't happened before. Actually, that's going to give us a really good exit. Holy cow, that might just be enough right there. Oh, it wasn't. That's new. I haven't had the car snap like that on me. Oh, there it is again. Kinda. We're back in his draft a little bit too. You can see it on the speed there. And we're both gonna get one more lap here. If Angelo puts up a pole winning lap, then he's gonna get one more. But he has to put up a pole winning lap to even get the chance to set a pole winning lap. So it's basically do or die here for the 19 team. And it's not gonna happen. He won't get there. And that is gonna do it. We have won the pole here in London. Drivers through pit stall. Alright, so that's gonna do it for this video. If you want to see the actual race, it's on the Otter Association of Timed Races YouTube channel. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you want to see more, leave a like, subscribe, do all that stuff. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.